Hi everyone, this is Pedro from Pedro's Movie Cavern. It's been a while since I uploaded, and there is a reason for that. My last upload I think was 10, 12, maybe 2 weeks ago. And the reason I've not been uploading is I burnt out. I completely burnt out. Between work and having time to myself, the videos they just didn't really enter into the grand scheme of things. And I don't like letting people down when it comes to videos, but I just could not face doing a video, setting up the camera or setting up my phone on the tripod and clearing certain areas so I could film. So that's why I am sat here at my desk. Laptop's on in the background. My desk's a bit of a tip. I don't know if you can see. Well, it was a bit of a tip. I got my microphone. Hello, how are you, mate? You dirty bugger. So there's that. I could have used the microphone, but I decided not to. I have been, I don't know if you've been listening, but I have been posting podcasts, episodes every Monday, which is usually, I post them on Spotify, which are usually about 30 to 40 minutes of me just talking about movies that I've recently seen. I did record one for last Monday, but when I listened to it back, it was not a good episode, and it was only 28 minutes long, so I didn't really have a huge amount of stuff to talk about. So I decided not to post that one in the end. But yeah, with the content on this channel, I'm probably only going to post when I feel like it, for the time being. So if there's this video and then there might not be another video for another 3 weeks, it's probably because I can't be bothered, if you know what I mean. I don't make any money off this. I make money through my job. So I don't make any money via YouTube because I don't get enough video views to warrant doing this on a paid basis, if you know what I mean. So I might not do another video for another three weeks, or I might post another video again this week or another video next week. I don't know. I don't know how the channel's going to play out. I want to keep posting at least something, maybe once a month. But at the moment, like I said, the burnout kind of hit me, and I haven't really had any urge to post a video or to make a video. Also, I've been playing Mafia 3 on the PlayStation 4, which is kind of like, it's my relax, chill out sort of way of unwinding, if you know what I mean. Shooting people in the face in 1968. New Bordeaux, and I finished that yesterday, so now I'm playing Mafia 1 Definitive Edition. I did buy a couple of games. I bought Hogwarts Legacy and Watch Dogs 2 to play on a PS4. I do have an Xbox and I do have a PS5 as well, but PS4 is the one that I mainly use in the cavern. But this is my pickups video for June, I guess you could say, and it is quite a bit. I've picked up a total of about 22 titles. A fair few of them are actually DVDs, mainly because I'm at a point now where, while I can afford to pick up whatever I want, the hassle and stress of worrying about getting limited editions and all this jazz, or worrying about whether a film is going to get released on Blu-ray or 4K, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I do not care. So I've got a Blu-ray player. They play DVDs. If I can play it and upscales through my Blu-ray player, then that is absolutely fine by me. Like, most of these cost me £1. They're movies that are very easy to get hold of on DVD. A lot of films that I've got on DVD, well, a lot of the films that I've picked up for this video, well, not for this video, that I will be showing in this video, are a lot of like 90s comedies and stuff that I haven't seen in a long time. and I just really fancied watching, but didn't want to spend 15 to 16 or even 25 quid on. I've got a couple of limited editions that I picked up yesterday, and just a few cheapo Blu-rays, and I think there's one 4K, well, there's two 4K, sorry, two limited editions. One of the limited editions is a 4K, then the one of the single films is a 4K, and then there is another limited edition release, but it's not 4K, it's just Blu-ray. So, I'm going to kick off. I don't know if I actually showed this in the last video, but the first is going to be 1, 2, 3, 7 DVDs. The first, I'm going to show the DVDs off first. The first one is a, it's kind of like, sort of like a mob comedy from 1999. It's a mob romantic comedy from 1999, starring Hugh Grant and James Caan. It's the movie Mickey Blue Eyes, which I rewatched a couple of weeks ago. About a week and a half ago. And I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. I've seen it before. Just really fancied watching it. And I know it's a Warner Brothers title, so it's probably never going to make it out on Blu-ray in the UK. But for a quid, just to like watch, it was a no-brainer. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. I think I might have shown this in the last video. I'm not really sure. In fact, I think there is another video. There is another DVD that I have that I didn't show, but now I can't find it. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Sorry, speak amongst yourself. Oh yeah, there it is. No, I think I did show it. I'm not 100% sure though. So yeah, for £1, Mickey Blue Eyes on DVD. Annoyingly, I can't get that sticker off with just my nails. Then the next film is a film that I haven't seen since I was a kid. It's a Christmas movie that I always really enjoyed watching. It used to be shown on like ITV and BBC when I was younger. And it's got Leslie Nielsen in it as Santa Claus. But it also stars Ethan Randall, now known as Ethan Embry, and Thora Birch. It's the movie All I Want for Christmas. Now, I remember watching this quite often as a child. This is released by Paramount, by the way. And I really enjoy watching Christmas movies when I get a chance to, because I am a huge fan of Christmas. I love Christmas. It's my favourite time of the year. And yeah, for £1 again, like, why not? Like, why not pick it up and just give it a watch? So yeah, for £1, not bad. All I Want for Christmas. It's got Leslie Nielsen in it as well. It's quite a good cast, actually. Harley Jane Kozak, Jamie Sheridan, who would play Randall Flagg in Stephen King's The Stand. Kevin Nealon, who was, I think, whether or not he was part of SNL at this time, I'm not sure. And it's got Lauren Bacall in it as well. And it is directed by Robert Lieberman and written by Tom Eberhardt and Richard Kramer. Tom Eberhardt is the writer and director of Night of the Comet and The Night Before, which is a Keanu Reeves comedy from like 1988, which is like pre-Bill and Ted, I think it was. Then another 90s comedy that I haven't seen for years and years and years and years. And I've always just kind of passed up because I couldn't remember much about it. So I'm actually quite looking forward to revisiting this for the first time in like 25, maybe 30 years. And it's the movie City Slickers with Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, Bruno Kirby, and Jack Palance. So again, another £1 pickup from MGM. Yeah, so I know this has had a 4K release through Shout Factory, I think, but I'm not spending money to import a copy of Shout Factory when it's like, it's a film I'm not massively enamored with, but because I haven't seen it for 30 years. But I thought, yeah, for £1, I'll pop it in the basket and give City Slickers a rewatch or a revisit after a very long time. Then the next film I have seen many, many times. In fact, I watched this movie just before we moved, and unfortunately, I had to buy this because the copy I originally had got lost when we were moving. And it's the movie Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. This is directed by Gary Marshall. Just before, I think this was just before Pretty Woman. It's got Catherine Hellman in it and Roddy McDowall, but also has Edward Herrmann and what's his name? Hector Elizondo as well, who always appeared in Gary Marshall movies. He plays the concierge of the hotel in Pretty Woman. But yeah, it's a great movie, really funny movie. It was randomly remade in a role reversal with Anna Faris and some Mexican actor, I can't remember his name, which I believe died an absolute death. But it's a fun movie. Kurt Russell plays a carpenter who is working on putting a shoe, like, wardrobe or whatever it is, onto Goldie Hawn's boat, because Goldie Hawn is a very rich woman who married to another very rich man as well, and she's kind of up her own arse and a bit like uppity and snooty against a working class man like Kurt Russell's Dean Prophet. Something happens and she falls overboard and has she has amnesia, and Kurt Russell's character sees her on, I think it's on the news or in a paper or something, and decides to get revenge, I guess you could say, by pretending and convincing her that she is his wife and that they have 3 children together. When you really think about it, it's a very problematic, gatekeepy sort of movie. But it's from 1987 when gatekeeping and problematic movies weren't actually a thing. But it is a hell of a lot of fun. So Overboard, great movie. Then, again, £1. Then we have going into a film I don't think I've ever seen. I think it's a film that I've always wanted to see. It used to be shown on Film 4 quite often back in the 90s or early 2000s. And it's a Michael J. Fox movie. And when I watched the trailer for this the other day, I only ever remembered the opening sequence. And I don't know the rest of the movie. It's Michael J. Fox, Julie Warner, and Woody Harrelson in the movie Doc Hollywood. This is a film directed by Michael Caton Jones, starring Michael J. Fox, Julie Warner, Bernard Hughes, Woody Harrelson, David Ogden Stiers, Francis Sternhagen, who's great in everything, by the way, and Bridget Fonda, who I almost picked up The Assassin the other day. In fact, if the copy of The Assassin is still in work when I go into work tomorrow, I will be picking up a copy of The Assassin, because that's a film I haven't seen for a very long time. But yeah, Doc Hollywood. It is a Beverly Hills, the most beautiful women in the world. Plastic surgery. Okay. What do these 3 things have in common? Dr. Ben Stone, played by Michael J. Fox. Me in less than a week. It turns out to be an eye-opening. This is a really badly written thing. Turns out to be an eye-opening week, and Doc Hollywood turns out to be a witty charmer. Stone is a newly minted MD whose medical fast lane cruise takes a small town detour to Grady, South Carolina, squash capital of the South. It is home to Salt of the Earth. This is a really badly written blurb on the back. Basically, I'm assuming he gets stranded in a small town on his way to working in California, and falls in love with someone and decides to stay in the small town. I'm guessing, but that's Doc Hollywood. I love Michael J. Fox. Back to the Future is my favourite movie of all time, but I also love Teen Wolf and Secret to My Success, and he's in Class of '84 as well. I remember The Concierge. There was Life with Mikey. Is it Life with Mikey? I think it was called Life with Mikey. And then also Spin City. I'm a big Michael J. Fox fan. In fact, one of the films that I have on a limited edition media book, which I've shown before, it's called Cold Blooded. It stars Jason Priestley as a sort of autistic bookie for the mob who becomes a hitman. Is produced by Michael J. Fox, and also he's in The Hard Word as well. The Hard Way, not The Hard Word. That is a Guy Pearce movie. So Doc Hollywood. Really kind of intrigued by this because I think I've seen it, but I also don't think I have seen all of it. Then we've got another film which I do believe has just had a 4K release. And again, it's a film I haven't seen for, well, probably since the 90s. It's a film I think someone else has just recently picked up. Maybe Ollie or maybe Sammy G's World of Cinema picked this up recently on DVD or maybe on Blu-ray. I can't remember. But it's the movie A League of Their Own. It's directed by Penny Marshall and stars Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and randomly Madonna. It's about an all-female baseball team in the 1940s. It's the All-American Girls Baseball Team. Also Laurie Petty, who I'm a big fan of because of Tank Girl, and Rosie O'Donnell. Who else we got in this? John Lovitz, David Strathairn, Gary Marshall, Gary Marshall Day, and Bill Pullman. The music by Hans Zimmer. Screenplay by Lowell Gans and Babaloo Mandel. Based on a story by Kim Wilson and Kelly Candoel. Something new to me. But yeah, League of Their Own. It is a sort of feel-good sports drama set in the 1940s. Like I said, all about the all-girl American baseball league. And Tom Hanks is drafted in as a coach to get them to, I'm guessing, the World Series? I don't fucking know. I haven't seen it in a long ass time. But again, £1. This was £1. It's in absolutely cracking condition. There's my receipt. Like, there's not a scratch on the disc, see? And yeah, these are the films that I'm just planning on revisiting because let's face it, almost every new movie that comes out kind of sucks, with the exception of not even a handful of movies. Like the best film I've seen this year was Sinners, and I quite like revisiting these 90s movies because yes, there's a sense of nostalgia there, but also they were better made. And so the final single DVD, because there is a box set of DVDs here, the final single DVD is one I picked up literally like 3 days ago. And again, I've not seen this for a long time. It's a Tim Burton movie. In fact, there's another Tim Burton movie in here as well. Yes, there is another Tim Burton movie in here as well. This is a film that I haven't seen for a long time. Phenomenal cast in this, being a Tim Burton movie, so it's going to be a huge ensemble. It's got Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito. Wait for it. Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Rob Steiger, Tom Jones, Lucas Haas, Natalie Portman, Jim Brown, Lisa Marie, Sylvia Sidney. Music by Danny Elfman. You can probably tell what it is, but it's Mars Attacks. I haven't seen this in years, so I can't really remember a huge amount about it. I remember certain scenes, like the scene with Sarah Jessica Parker and Pierce Brosnan having their heads put onto dogs. And then there's the scene with the spinning restaurant or office in Vegas where Jack Nicholson's character, the non-president version of Jack Nicholson's character. I know Jack Black is also in this, and I remember the introduction to the aliens where they start zapping people, that type of thing. So there's not like, I don't remember a lot about this movie, but I remember certain images and certain scenes, and I'm intrigued to revisit this because it has been a very long time since I saw it. I mean, this came out in 1998, just before Tim Burton did Planet of the Apes, so it's an interesting switch from one sci-fi to the other sci-fi. But yeah, so Mars Attacks is the last DVD that I purchased as a single DVD this month. There are more. I have a list of movies that I want to pick up on DVD if they are £1, because all 7 of these were a total of £7, but not £7 because I had a discount because I work in the shop that I bought them, so I had 15% discount. Now onto the Blu-rays. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 7 single Blu-rays and 1 4K. So the first one this is a recommendation from Ollie, actually. Ollie Loves Films, when we were talking about it the other day. And it's sort of like, it's a disaster movie, but it's a disaster movie shot in a specific way. It's like a first-person disaster movie, but it's the movie Into the Storm, with Sarah Wayne Callies and Richard Armitage, Richard Armitage is a great British actor. Matt Walsh, Alicia Debnam Carey. Oh, cool! I didn't know she was in this. And Arlen Escapata. Music by Brian Tyler and directed by Stephen Quayle. So Into the Storm is a film about a hurricane or a twister. But it's shot in sort of like a first-person found footage style. So I'm intrigued to check this out. It's not a long movie. It's only 89 minutes, so it'll pass the time. This was like £2.50 as well, so bargain, if you know what I mean. Then we have a film. I think I have this on DVD. I'm not 100% sure, because I have a lot of DVDs. But me and my brother watched a breakdown of this movie the other day. It was like a review. I think it was like this movie reviewed by an idiot, and it was like a 17-minute breakdown of this movie that was hilariously funny. And it's Luc Besson's movie Lucy, which I've seen this multiple times, but I've never owned a Blu-ray of it. I think my brother bought the 4K and then sold it when we first got a 4K TV. And this movie is bonkers. This is such a crazy movie. Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. This is the movie where Scarlett Johansson basically turns into the internet. She turns into Wikipedia. It is about a woman who is forced to transport drugs in her stomach, but the bag splits and the drugs get into her bloodstream, but unlocks the potential of using more than 10% of her brain, so it just continually goes up in percentages. So she's able to do ridiculous things like see coding in like Neo does in the Matrix, and use telekinesis and stuff. It's absolutely stupid, but it's a lot of fun, and it is a good fun movie. And it's not a very long movie either, much like Into the Storm at 89 minutes. I think this is just over an hour and a half. Oh, it's an hour and 20 minutes, so it's just under an hour and a half. But Scarlett Johansson's really good in this. Morgan Freeman, he's in it. That's all I can say. But he just does Morgan Freeman in this. But there's an interesting thing, because it's got Choi Min-sik as well from the movie Old Boy as the main Korean gangster in this. And who else is in it? A very, very small role for Leo Tipton, as well as Lucy's flatmate in Bangkok. It's just a mental movie and a lot of fun, so definitely worth checking out. The second I almost said the name of the... Well, it's Edward Scissorhands, so it's the second Tim Burton movie, is Edward Scissorhands. I love Edward Scissorhands. I can't believe it's taken me this long to pick up the Blu-ray of this. I know there's probably a 4K. The last time I watched this about a year and a half ago. But I watched it through a 720p torrent that I managed to get hold of. This is the extended edition, which I didn't know existed, so I don't know what the difference is. But this is such a beautiful little movie. Tim Burton's visual eye on this film is incredible. Johnny Depp's performance is spectacular. Winona Ryder's really good in this. And then it's the last, obviously, being a massive movie nerd and also being a fan of old classic like science fiction and horror movies, this was like a treat as being the last screen performance of Vincent Price as well, who played the inventor who created Edward and gave him hands for scissors. Well, I suppose he didn't really give him hands for scissors because he died before he could give him the hands that he had made for him, grafted them onto. It's kind of like a Pinocchio. Is it kind of like a Pinocchio? Not Pinocchio, like a Frankenstein story. But it's a nice movie. There's nothing like offensive in this film. It's a bit like Pleasantville. Again, these are like films that are very nice to watch. There is nothing offensive in these movies, and there's nothing offensive in Edward Scissorhands either. It's just a really, really good fucking movie, and it's got a gorgeous musical score by Danny Elfman as well. Such a good film. Then we have, and this was because I went on a bit of a weird. I say a weird. It wasn't weird at all. I went on a movie marathon, and watched Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because number 8 is in the cinema at the moment. And I watched them all via streaming services, and I had massive issues with certain ones through watching them through streaming services. The picture quality, especially through Amazon Prime Video, the picture quality on one of these and one that I didn't pick up, which I haven't picked up yet, was so bad it kept dipping in and out of high definition. So it kept going from clear, nice, gorgeous 1080p cinematography to potato image, pixelated as fuck, and it really annoyed the hell out of me. So I picked up 3 of the Mission Impossible movies. The first one being obviously the first Mission Impossible movie. Enjoyed it. I saw this in the cinema when it first came out in 1996. I didn't really think much of it. Maybe I wasn't mentally developed enough to really understand like intrigue and espionage movies and complex plots and stuff. But having rewatched this the last 2 weeks or so, this is probably number 4 if I was ranking. I think I put it at number 4 as a ranking, because it is a really, really good movie, and De Palma's directing in this is chef's kiss. Just so fucking good. Great cast at the beginning as well. Great cast throughout the rest of the movie. And the introduction of Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt, who becomes like basically Superman throughout all 8 movies. Just really good. Just a solid espionage thriller that kind of, not in the Bond style, but more in like the Saint. If you remember the movie The Saint with Val Kilmer, kind of like that. Then I picked up number 2, not Mission Impossible 2, number 2 in my rankings of the Mission Impossible movies, and that is Mission Impossible 3. Why do I rank it at number 3? Because the reason is this film is a phenomenal action movie. There is so much good action in this film, and it has a really good plot. It has a very, very good villain. It has the best villain of all Mission Impossible movies, and the villain is Philip Seymour Hoffman's Owen Davian, and it has the MacGuffin of the rabbit's foot, which, if you've seen Dead Reckoning or The Final Reckoning, please do not tell me what the rabbit's foot is, because I think from what I've read that they do reveal exactly what the rabbit's foot is, or whether or not it's linked to the AI that is created, well, that they show at the start of Dead Reckoning Part 1. So good, just really, really good. You've got a great cast in this: Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, Michelle Monaghan. You've got Lawrence Fishburne, Simon Peggs. The introduction of Simon Peggs Benji Dunn as a sort of analyst in a lab, who then in the next film becomes a field agent. It's just great, and the end of the shootout is so good. It has the best Tom Cruise run-in scene of any Tom Cruise run-in movie, where he is absolutely hauling ass through this little sort of side market place. It's just great. It is absolutely good. And then the bridge shootout is phenomenal. Just love this movie. Love it. And the final one I picked up in the Mission Impossible movies is Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol. Everybody sucks the dick of this movie. I do not. I do not think it's very good. And the only reason I picked it up is because it is part of a series. And the only cool thing about this movie is that Benji does more, and we have the introduction of Brandt, played by Jeremy Renner, who is then in the next 2, I think he is. But then doesn't... No, he's in the next 3. So this one, is it this one? I think it's this one, Rogue Nation and Fallout, which Brandt is in. Jeremy Renner's character is really fucking good in this. Paula Patton's character, Jane, is sadly miscast. I don't think she really fitted in very well, but it's got okay moments in it. The villain is terrible. The villain is just non-villainous. And it's sad because the villain is played by Michael Nyqvist, who played Vigo in John Wick. And Vigo is such a phenomenally good and well-written villain in that first John Wick film, and has some great dialogue that I just feel like Michael Nyqvist was kind of misused or underused in this film as a villain. It also has a part where the big action set sequence is set during a massive sandstorm where you can't see a fucking thing that's going on. But yeah, I mean, as a directorial debut for Brad Bird, who was an animation director, it's very well directed. But other than that, I just don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. Moving swiftly on, we have a film I watched for the first time this year. And it's a film that I really enjoyed. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I should pick it up. And it's always coming up in sales and stuff in HMV. But I don't get to HMV as much as I used to, because now I don't work in Cardiff. So when I do get to the city centre, I have to go straight to the train station to get a train. But this came into work and it was £6. And I thought, you know what, let's pick it up. I really enjoyed it the first time I saw it. Hopefully I'm going to enjoy it even more the next few times. And it's the movie The Third Man with Orson Welles. It's directed by Carol Reed. Also stars Joseph Cotton. Well, I say also stars. It stars Joseph Cotton. And Alida Valli, Orson Welles, Trevor Howard. Trevor Howard is great in fucking everything. Always worth watching a movie if Trevor Howard is in it. But it's a very cool sort of like whodunit mystery noir thing. And the biggest standout of this, what made me fall in love with this movie, is the fact that the cinematography on this, every single shot of this movie could be a photo. I mean, it's so well lit and shot. It's just a beautiful movie. The stark black and white cinematography also just fucking nails it. And yeah, it's really good. So for £6, Like, why not? Why not pick this up, have it, add it to the collection? Great movie. My favourite Orson Welles movie outside of Transformers, the movie from 1986, where he played Omnicron. I think it was Omnicron. It's been a while since I watched it. I'm going to have to watch my 4K. Speaking of 4K, this is the only 4K that I picked up, and I picked this up because it's a very funny film, and it was cheap as chips, and it's the movie The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. This is a very silly movie. It's a very fun movie. It kind of reminds me of Romancing the Stone from Robert Zemeckis, which starred Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, also Danny DeVito. This is just, it is a very funny movie. Like, I love watching movies with Sandra Bullock in. Like, I'll watch anything she is in. So from, like, the shittest movies, like Fire on the Amazons, or, like, the Oscar-winning movies that she's in, like The Blind Side. But then all the crap that she does in between, like Miss Congeniality, and The Proposal, which I think, for me personally, I think The Proposal is one of the greatest unsung romantic comedies of all time. Her chemistry with Ryan Reynolds and the ending scene is absolutely just so good. But yeah, very funny movie, very like an adventure movie. Also, Daniel Radcliffe is in this as well, and very funny as the villain. So yeah, that was the 4K that I picked up. The single 4K that I picked up, or the 4K single release that I picked up. Not the only 4K, because I picked up 2. And I very much enjoyed this, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So, for very cheap, I think it was like £6. I was like, why the fuck not? So then we come to the limited editions that I picked up. The first one, I didn't even know we had this in work, and it was £22. And I had a voucher, so I was just like, well, most of these were bought on voucher. So I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up. I already have these on Blu-ray, and this isn't the 4K, but it's the new release. But I really do like these films, and for £22 in this really gorgeous packaging, with some really, really great artwork, actually, I thought, you know what, I'll grab it, because I can get rid of my older releases and stick with these. And it's the Arrow release of FX and FX2, starring Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy. Love these movies, watched them as a kid, watched them as an adult, really enjoyable, like thrillers, comedy thrillers. And this is the Arrow release that came in this really gorgeous hardback case. Oops. It comes with a really nice book, which I can show you. And it comes with the poster, which I dropped on the floor. But then it comes in just the regular Amaray, with again, new artwork. I don't know if you can see that, new artwork there, with reversible art on the other side, which is the original artwork for 1 and 2. This is a 2-disc set. I do have the 101 Films release of this, but for like such a really neat, really nice collection for £22 as well. And the fact that I got a discount on it as well kind of swayed me more to picking this up, which means I can now get rid of the 101 release, which is nothing wrong with the 101 release, but like I really, really, really like these. Makes me wonder whether or not these are the same transfers. I don't know, but yeah, it's a very, very nice release, and it can sit with my other hardback or hardbox books releases. So yeah, that's FX. That is £22. The next one was also £22, and this is the other 4K release. And I did not know we had this in work, because it was actually next to FX 1 and 2 on the shelf. And like I said, I had a voucher for CEX, so I thought, well, I'll just use that. And this is a gorgeous release as well. Another hard case, and this is a 4K. This is the 4K of The Green Mile. Now, I'm a big Stephen King adaptation fan. I have a very large Stephen King movie and miniseries collection, and I wanted to add this. I already have this on Blu-ray, so my Blu-ray will be going. But this is the 4K release of this absolutely stunning movie from Frank Darabont, who followed up his Stephen King adaptation of Shawshank Redemption with this, again, another adaptation of a short story by Stephen King. Such a phenomenal movie. Darabont best work is when he is adapting Stephen King. So you've got Shawshank, you've got Green Mile and The Mist, but also he did such great work with The Majestic, and even like the first series of The Walking Dead, which is one of the best first seasons of a TV show ever. But this is really, really good. And again, like the effects release, it comes with a booklet with pictures and writing. It comes with a booklet of pictures and writing. And then this, which is an envelope that has, I believe it's art cards and a photo. Well, a poster, yes. So it's got art cards and a poster. And like I said, it was £22. It didn't cost me anything because I had a voucher. So I was like, why not? We've also got the Arrow release of, like the limited edition release of Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak, which I do also have on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet. And I didn't want to drop money on that, like 22 quid on that, in case I didn't really like the film. When I paid like £4 for the regular Blu-ray. But yeah, that's the other limited edition that I got. It's a really nice set. This is released by Warner Brothers as well. Didn't know this existed. This can go next to my other Warner Brothers 4K hard box releases of the Mad Max movies. And so finally we get to the last item of the day. And the last item of the day is a collection of 4 movies. Again, this is DVD, not 4K or Blu-ray. And the reason I picked this up is because I have only ever seen one of these movies. And I believe it is the movie White Heat that I have only ever seen. But this is the James Cagney signature collection that features 4 movies, which is White Heat, Public Enemy, Angels with Dirty Faces, and The Roaring Twenties. Now, I have seen White Heat. I do remember seeing White Heat, but I haven't seen the other 3. And I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So it comes with The Roaring Twenties, Angels with Dirty Faces, The Public Enemy, and White Heat. Now, these really, really are good collections. I have the John Wayne one. We also had the Errol Flynn one in work as well. But I'm not a huge fan of Errol Flynn anyway. But I thought I'd grab this because there are movies in there that I really want to watch. And I do love noir movies and old black and white gangster films. And these being the Warner Brothers discs, they tend to have remastered versions on the DVDs that upscale really, really, really well through Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out the majority of these again. And I had a look to see what other ones that were released, what other signature collections were released like this. And there's a few actually. There's a Humphrey Bogart one. There's a Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall one. There is a Burt Lancaster collection, which I would love to get. That one and the Robert Mitchum one, I think, would be really good additions to the collection. But that is it. That is my big ass haul for June. And like I said, I'm going to try and do more content if and when I feel like it. It's not something that like I want to avoid doing. It's just when you do it consistently, and I think everyone else will probably find this out as well. When you stick to a schedule, you will find that you burn out because you have to find the time to do these videos. Now, this one's a long video. This is a 45-minute video so far, and I've got stuff I need to do now. So I had to find time between playing Mafia 3 and sorting out my flat to record this video. But thank you everyone for watching. I am still around. If you want to get hold of me, I've left all my contact stuff on my channel. You can message me through Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky, which I don't ever check anymore, so I wouldn't bother with that. But I'm on Instagram all the time. I'm on Facebook. You can get hold of me if you want to ask me questions. I might possibly do a live video at some point. I don't rightly know. But thanks everyone for watching. My name is Pedro. This is Pedro's desk. Hang on, let's show you. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. There's the corner. My bed's a fucking tip. See, that's my desk. Not my desk. That's my little coffee table. And I have some posters on the wall now, which have sadly they have rolled up. There's a Kira poster and a Star Wars poster, and there's the Alien poster behind me. And yeah, so there we go. That is Pedro's Movie Cavern. My name is Pedro. Thank you everyone for watching. As usual, I'll give you a salute, throw up the peace sign, and tell you that I am out. Cheers everyone. Have a good one. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Peace.